Good evening. I'm Jordyn.Tillman.
Hello.
And you are?
Quadria Brown.
Okay, so hi, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. You?
That's good. I'm doing great. The weather is a little,
Real cold.
yeah, it's cold and rainy. I'm feeling a little sickish, so hopefully that'll pass. So I brought you here today because I'm actually a social work major. And in the social work field, you have to really interview clients and talk to clients a lot. So I wanted to get a practice of my engagement skills. So before we get started into things, I wanted to let you know that everything will be between us, but with the confidentiality rules, if you say anything about harming yourself or others, I do have to tell someone. So if you could just sign here for me and just to let you know that you agree with everything. Right there where it says volunteer client name and number, if you don't mind giving your number out. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so what brings you here? You was telling me about school.
School has been very stressful lately between classes and worrying about the nursing program.
Oh, so you want to be a nurse?
Yes. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy working with my hands, so I feel like nursing would be like the perfect career path for me. But the nursing program is very competitive, so I want to be like the best in all my classes, A's and B's. And sometimes it gets a little hard. It's a little stressful.
So what do you feel like your strengths are as a student?
I study hard. My weakness would be, it's ironic, I'm not good at science, and I need a lot of sciences. But I study hard. I try to talk to my TAs. I try to connect, and I feel like those are my strengths. But sometimes I feel like I need, I don't know, extra boost. Maybe find new ways of studying, new ways to improve my grades.
So those, you feel like those are your weaknesses?
Weaknesses. Sometimes I can be lazy.
Being lazy, procrastination.
Yes.
Yes, I understand. So you feel like you need new studying routines. Have you tried Googling any study routines or?
Actually, no, and that's a good idea. I tend to ask other students, and most students say, "Oh, girl, I don't know. I just." So that's a good idea to maybe Google some new studying habits.
Well, are you a visual learner or?
Very visual. I'm not audio. I can't just listen and pick up on things. I need to see them or write them down.
Do you prefer like flashcards or just looking at notes?
Flashcards do tend to help depending on the subject. When it comes to like definitions, I just write those down. I keep reading them, but I think flashcards help a lot.
I know it also matters when you start studying for a test. Like, do you try to study like when you hear about it, or you try to study the night before and cram everything in?
That would be my issue. I am a crammer. I will study the night before, sometimes the morning of, and I know that's a big mistake, but I will. My weakness, procrastination.
See, I don't think it's a problem with studying the night before and like reflecting on it, but I feel like maybe you should start a couple of weeks in advance and start on the first part of the chapter, then the second part, and then reflecting on the first part, and then doing it like that so it can be easier to stick in your head more. I heard that's a good thing, but cramming, it's not really a good quality. So do you prefer groups or you like to get it all the studying in by yourself?
I learned last year with my roommate when we studied together, I tend to do better on tests. So I think maybe a partner, I don't know about a huge group because I know I can get distracted easily, but I think like maybe a partner or maybe even a small group that might help me.
Oh, okay. And then I know it's probably a good idea to, if you get your tests back, to look at how the professor lays out the test so you can know how to study and maybe make your own copy of the test and try to study that way. So you don't think the test is going to be all multiple choice and it's all essay, or half the test is essay and you just study multiple choice. So that's a good way of trying to get better grades on tests.
That's a good idea.
So, would you say you're more of a essay type person or text?
I guess I would say it depends on the subject, but overall, I might like to write an essay if it's a class where I pay attention. I feel like it's easier for me to write what I know, use what I know, write it down, than multiple choice if I feel like it's a weak topic, because then I'm just playing the guessing game rather than just giving all the information I know.
Yeah, I understand. I'm more of an essay type of girl because I can, once I get my layout of what I want, I can start writing. And then the only hard part is going back in and adding to it to get your minimum or maximum page limit. And I know with tests, I'm just like, I don't know what to study for. This chapter is 50 pages. I gotta know all of these, so it's really difficult. So what classes are you in now? How do you feel about finals coming up?
Finals, in some classes I feel very confident, and others I feel nervous. I take English, very confident in English. I take anatomy and anatomy lab. Those are my weak subjects. Those are the most classes I'm worried about. I take a nursing class. I'm finding that class is called Talking the Talk. We do a lot of presentations. I'm very good at doing projects, so have a good grade in that class. I take psychology. I love psychology. I think it's interesting, so I do good in there. And there's one more. I took an online class. It's called Health Disparities. Also, I'm doing great in that class. It's kind of borderline psychology, and I enjoy it. So really just anatomy, like I said, science is my weak suit, so it kind of stresses me out.
So how have you been preparing for each final coming up?
Well, in lab, he creates study guides. So honestly, if you take the time out and study and not study last minute, you can do great on them. And I'm learning that as I go, that I just need to, like you said, start studying before, refresh myself. With lecture, I kind of haven't figured out the best way to study because the chapters are so long and they're usually on multiple chapters at once, and it's just PowerPoints and video recordings of class. So I'm still learning how to study for that.
How to study for that? Do you know how his test will be? Is his final with multiple choice or multiple choice? So, have you got back any of your old tests in his class?
You can pick them up in his lab, yes.
So maybe you should do that, get your old tests and study all of those. So maybe you should pick up your old tests, and since it's still going to be the same format on the final, just try to quiz yourself on those. Or you said working with a partner, get someone to say the questions out loud and give you the multiple choice answers like this, and try to get them and just practice all the tests. So maybe you can learn in the answers you do get wrong, maybe go in the book and learn a little bit more information so it can stick with you. Maybe write some notes on the note card. Okay, so this goes with this and da-da-da. Don't really try to learn the answer. Try to really explore the subject more so you can have a better understanding, because you say you was nursing, so these sciences connect with each other, or
yes,
so as you get higher in your level, you still need to reference old science class. Yeah. So really trying to understand and not just get by.
I like that you said that because I don't necessarily like to just remember to answer the questions. I like to feel like I'm actually learning information. I'm actually learning the class because I feel like, okay, I might have passed that class, but what did I learn to take it on to the next class? And that's not going to help me in the future if I don't obtain the information. So
Yeah, a lot of people struggle with that. Sometimes it's not about getting an A in the class. Maybe you got a B, but you actually understood it. So maybe in the next course, you can get an A because when that professor goes over what happened in your last class, you already know that, so it's easier to catch on. You don't have to backtrack. You already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's easier. Have there been any tutoring sessions?
I need to use those resources.
What? You said you like one-on-one studying, so maybe with tutoring you can actually get some one-on-one guidance, and that will probably be easier. I know when I was in biology, I didn't understand anything in the class, but going to tutoring, because those are actual students, they could explain it better.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes the professor, they already know it. So they're not really doing a good job explaining it because they expect you to just catch on easily. And I know it could be awkward sometimes in class. You don't want to keep holding the class up, asking questions, personal questions, because you feel like the class get it and you just don't get it. So going to the tutoring sessions, it's like one-on-one, and you can feel free to ask any questions because they're going to answer them like they're here to help you really. And it's not on a tight schedule. And if you keep going to them, it's really makes a difference. Really makes a difference.
I know what you mean because when I took Anatomy 1, I went to the TA sessions, and there was a TA, he was very good at breaking things down for when the way we understand as students, like you said, better than the teacher could.
Yeah.
And it helped a lot.
Yeah. So just try to make it to those, and pretty much it. Try to study better or earlier. Try to start studying earlier so you won't feel so overwhelmed. Try to make a schedule. Really plan it out. I'm going to study 30 minutes for anatomy and 30 minutes for a lecture. And then the next days, maybe Tuesdays and Wednesdays, those are for your psychology classes. Making a little study note for those for that final. Because are your finals all on the same day or the same week?
I actually already researched them. They're kind of spread out, some 1 week, some the next week. So I'll say maybe 3 1 week, three the next week, kind of half and half.
Oh, you're pretty lucky because sometimes I know I had like 2 finals in one day, and then one the next day, and then one the next. That gets overwhelming because it's like, oh my God, you want to start studying for your Friday exam, but you got an exam Monday. So it's like, it gets a little overwhelming, but also try to, take breaks. That's why I say start early so you can take breaks and not feel so, I gotta do this, and keep writing everything out. So to ease your mind a little, and if you're less stressed going into the exam, you'll feel better. If you have high anxiety during the exam, you're already going to think you're not going to do well. So you really want to go in there with a calm mindset and feel like you got it, instead of like, I just learned this stuff last night. Because I know how it feels. So try to do that. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, you actually gave me a lot of good tips.
Oh, thank you.
Because I can take those and actually apply them. They're not over the top. They're actually very realistic, and I know they will have like a good impact.
Oh, I'm glad I could help you.